want some nasty.
Mój das ma grab, więc chodź do tańca, gdy wciąż to szansa i los nam gra. Mam duszę starca, nie lubię walca, na palcach gram. Na palcach gram, na palcach gram.
What's good, Spurs Knights? It's your boy Clan the Spurs fan, and I'm here with a brand new video. If you could give me a like, subscribe, and turn that notification bell on. Now, let's get straight into it. A lot of people have been messaging me, hitting me up on Instagram, Facebook, and asking me what's going on with this whole Dejounte Murray situation. And I am here to just try to break it down the best I can. And after I break it down and just tell you, what's going on, exactly what's going on with him and his dad, what the issue is. After I get done with that, afterwards, I'm going to just give you my raw opinions on this whole situation. And I'll be completely honest with you guys exactly how I'm feeling about it. But before we get into that, let me just go ahead and break it down the best I can just from the information that I've been seeing that's been going on. So what's been going on is his father, sorry, I'm moving my laptop. His father has a Twitter. Dejounte Murray's father has a Twitter. And on Twitter, Dejounte Murray's dad is constantly posting things, not necessarily regarding to Murray, but just showing support. He would show pictures of himself wearing a Spurs hat. He showed, he'll tweet out that he's about to go watch the Spurs game. You know what I mean? He tried to keep it as simple as possible as far as telling people how much he supports Dejounte Murray. He didn't go as far as saying they had a great relationship. He didn't go as far as saying, I just saw my son the other day. He don't do that. All he does is talk about how he's going to go watch the Spurs game and stuff like that, just showing support for Dejounte Murray. That's what is going on. But also people would message him and ask him a question about Dejounte Murray, and he would answer it truthfully. He would say, this is how much I know. This is what I heard, and he'll leave it at that. Dejounte Murray didn't like this. And the reason why Dejounte Murray didn't like this, because he felt as if his father was trying to run off of his name. Because Dejounte Murray is famous now, semi-famous, NBA semi-famous, and because Dejounte Murray got money, he feels as if his father is trying to ride off of his name. Now, this is what Dejounte Murray had to say. I got my laptop here. And Dejounte Murray went to social media and he said this as follows. Man, ain't none worse than a father who was missing, it says mission, but he meant missing in action while you was growing up. You blow up and become someone one day, and they want to clout chase and act like they raised you because they got some pictures of you when you were 5 to 9 years old. Drop your BS and man up, apologize, and move on. Now, so Dejounte Murray is basically saying that his father was not there for him. His father is just clout chasing. He's just trying to, make himself feel better because he's in the shadow of his own son and trying to, it sounds like he's saying that he's trying to live through me. That's what Dejounte Murray had to say. Now, after this, his father didn't take too kindly of it. And this is what his father said in response to his son. Supporting your son is not called clout chasing. And having a girl with a dream ain't called gold digging. It's called love, but you can't see that because you're rolling with the devil. Life goes on. Money ain't shit when you got real family behind you. Hashtag grow up. Now let me tell you about his father just from what I got. Not too long after this, he went to Periscope. If you know Periscope, that you do a lot of live broadcasts off Periscope. And he was on there for 43 minutes actually airing some dirty laundry about Dejounte Murray, but also explaining his own situation and saying that he's not clout chasing his son. He went on to say that he's living in Hawaii at the time. He showed a video of it. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, I don't have the first video that his dad put out when he was talking about Dejounte Murray, because it was taken down not too long after he posted it. But I will give you a rundown of some of the stuff he said. Just, me paraphrasing. He said that he has 2 jobs. he's living in Hawaii now. He has a wife, he has a few kids, and he moved on. He said that he's making money for his family. He said he wants to protect his family. He loves his family, and he did admit. Now, when Dejounte Murray said that, you're posting pictures for me from 5 to 9 years old, his dad did go on to admit, said, yeah, there was times that I wasn't there. I was on drugs. He mentioned that Dejounte Murray's mother sold drugs and went to jail. And he said I was in and out of Dejounte Murray's life, but he also said that he always supported Dejounte Murray. And he said that he had receipts for it. Like he said he had pictures of him supporting Dejounte Murray. He said he had pictures of him making shirts for Dejounte Murray. And he just claimed that, it was a lot of wrong things his dad said, but at the same time he was trying to give his side of the situation and saying that he's not clout chasing his son and that he's just been trying to support him. And at the same time, he also mentioned, since Dejounte Murray said what he said, he went on to say a few things about Dejounte Murray. He mentioned how Dejounte Murray used to bully kids and take their backpacks. He mentioned how Dejounte Murray tried to gang bang at some point. He mentioned how Dejounte Murray wouldn't go by his father's rules, and he ended up living with his grandma. He mentioned how Dejounte Murray didn't really care about his family. He was always off doing his own thing. He said a lot about Dejounte Murray, and he aired out some things that probably shouldn't have been out there. But he was also honest about himself and saying, I wasn't the greatest person. He kind of, without saying it, he kind of said he was a terrible person. But he said that as a dad, he did the best he could, but while he was on drugs, he got addicted to drugs. And it's honestly, guys, it's a messy situation. I'm looking at, everything that's going on with DJ and his dad, and it's just messy. Dejounte Murray didn't say anything after this, but what his dad did do, and I'm gonna leave a video, a link to the video underneath. But what his dad did do is the next day, he went on to Periscope again and showed, it was 43 minutes, just like his last video. And he showed a long span of pictures he had for Dejounte Murray, messages he had regarding Dejounte Murray, just showing that he was there. Because there's a lot of people messaging him saying, you're a deadbeat dad because of what Dejounte Murray said. And one, slide note that you probably don't care about, but I'll give it to you anyway. While he was periscoping, while he was doing the live broadcast, his father, Jilly, Dejounte Murray's ex-girlfriend, tuned in and watched it. It actually showed that she tuned in and she watched the whole thing. He had a lot to say about Dejounte Murray. He mentioned how he's selfish. He also mentioned how the San Antonio Spurs didn't communicate with him, the father, about Dejounte Murray's behavior. Which I don't know why they would do that, but okay. It's a lot going on. And I'm gonna go ahead and give my just raw opinions on the whole situation. I know this is a long video. Some of you guys probably tuned out, but that's some of the stuff that's going on. Here's my opinion on it. I never been huge on Dejounte Murray. If anybody's following me on Instagram, Spurs Wave, you guys know, for years, I was never high on Dejounte Murray. I didn't really like how he played on the court as a point guard. I thought he would make a great shooting guard if he could shoot, but I didn't like how he played as a point guard. I thought he was scrappy, that's good. He's a rebound monster, he's a good defender, but I just don't like him as a point guard. I've always liked Derek White a little more than Dejounte Murray as far as the point guard position. Another thing about Dejounte Murray that I was always iffy about is I would just look at some of his mannerisms on the court and I would say, I don't know if this guy's a true Spur. Like, just sometimes after he dunk, he kind of showboat just a little bit. Sometimes it's real subtle, but he would do it. This situation right here does not help Dejounte Murray's image for me as a fan. I know Dejounte Murray don't give a damn what I have to say because he already blocked me. He blocked me on Instagram a long time ago. But to be honest with you, this type of stuff, I don't like it. Especially right after what we had to deal with Kawhi Leonard. And then you go back to the Tony Parker days with the Tony Parker scandal. I don't like this type of drama. I do not. And this whole thing with Dejounte Murray, it irritates me because I want to believe Dejounte Murray when he say, my dad won there, growing up. But here's the thing. His dad went on Periscope and mentioned how, yes, I was on drugs. Yes, I was not there all the time. But yes, I did try. And then he went on and showed all the years that, yes, I have documentation of my son. I have pictures with my son. I always tried to support Murray. I believe his dad. That's just me. I believe his dad. Because one thing about it is, his dad has showed more truth in this situation than Dejounte Murray has in the past couple months. Because even when Dejounte Murray went, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But even when he went on social media to call his girlfriend that when they just broke up, a gold digger, right then and there, I knew this wasn't right. Something wasn't right about Dejounte Murray. When you go out and say this girl, that Jilly girl, was a gold digger, I knew she wasn't. I don't get me wrong. I wasn't crazy about her. I don't care for celebrity relationships, celebrity couples. I really don't. I don't know if they're real, they're fake. I don't follow it. But Dejounte Murray is a Spur, so I saw it all the time with him and Jilly. The girl has money. The girl always had money. Her family had money. And for you to put that information out there and say, hey, this girl's a gold digger, that's extremely irresponsible. Even if yes, say she was a gold digger, you don't do that because you've shown over the time you guys been together, the span that you guys been together, that you really like this girl. You were into this girl. You showed her off. You always say, hey, this is my girl. Look at my girl. Look how beautiful she is. And then as soon as it goes downhill, you go to social media with all these people that are yes men that's just going to say, oh, Murray, you got her, and say she's a gold digger. And all those people go to her page and call her out how she's a gold digger and how she ain't this and how she ain't that. You straight up attack that girl. And even me, as a small fan page I have on Instagram with 43,000, I would never, if I broke up with my girl, I would never go to social media, even on my Facebook, and say this girl's a gold digger or say something about her, even if it was true. I wouldn't do that because that girl gave you time with you. You guys enjoyed each other's company, and then you go on to social media to say she's a gold digger. I didn't like it. And stuff like this, I don't mean to talk about all this drama. I don't. And this is just raw emotion. This is just me talking about it. This isn't me, editing this video highly. This isn't me writing all this stuff out. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. You don't do that to somebody that you at some point loved. With your father, I know that's deeply embedded. I know that if your dad does you wrong, it hurts. I know that you're saying that he wasn't there for you. And he admitted, hey, I kind of wasn't at times. But for you to go out and say he's clout chasing. Keep in mind, guys, I've been keeping up with his dad's Twitter. I've been seeing what his dad posts. Mostly it's just support. He doesn't say that, hey, I have a good relationship with my son. It's just support. Like his father said here, he said, it's called love, but you can't see that. It kind of is love. When you think about it, it's just love. He's just out. And his dad also was saying that he's from the streets and he know a lot of street stuff that goes on. You know what I mean? He said, I was in the drug gang. He was saying my girl, your mother got thrown in jail. because she was in the drug gang. And then he said that Dejounte Murray tried to be a gang member. Stuff like this, guys, I don't like, because Dejounte Murray, when you say man up and apologize, move on, none of your actions throughout this situation has shown that you're manning up. Nothing in this situation has shown that you forgive these people, or that you're willing to apologize for what you did or what you said. Now, the whole thing with the Jilly situation, I think he did try to go back on it and say, oh, you know, the internet will take what you say and spin it around. It's like, no, Dejounte, you put that out there. You said that girl was a gold digger. Just like you're putting this out right now that your dad's a clout chaser. This isn't Spurs. I can't even believe if you just jumped into the video and you didn't know Dejounte Murray, but you knew who the San Antonio Spurs were, you wouldn't believe that this is a San Antonio Spurs saying these things. You wouldn't. And this is one of the reasons why I've never been high on Dejounte Murray. I didn't know about all the off-court drama, but the off-court drama bleeds into play on the court. Dejounte Murray, some of his actions on the court, just from his mannerisms that I've seen, shows that he's a little selfish. Shows that he's a little cocky. And his dad also mentioned how he was, running around messing with a lot of girls and all this. But it's nothing. I'm not going to get too into that, only because, yes, you're about to be an NBA star. Like, you're going to have a lot of women flock around you. But just his dad just made it sound like Dejounte Murray was a handful. And Dejounte Murray, I'm sorry, man, you're not being a man in this situation. When you say this person needs to man up, you need to stop being a gold digger. It sounds like a dude who thinks everybody is after his money and his fame. And he puts himself on this high of a pedestal, and he expects everyone else to bow down to him. This is what is coming across as me that I'm seeing. This is something that celebrities do all the time. But if you're going to be a San Antonio Spur, none of the San Antonio Spurs have done this. I say what I say about Kawhi Leonard and that Kawhi Leonard situation and the drama. I hate it. I really do. But Kawhi Leonard never threw his family under the bus. He never started talking about, my uncle getting on my nerves. He never had issues with his woman and then go straight online and start talking about it. When you do stuff like that, you're still a child, man. You're still a kid. Me personally, if I just talk about myself, I have a lot of growing to do. I do. But I'm looking at Murray, and it's almost like he's not even trying. The situation's bad, man. It's bad. I'm just looking at everything, and like I said, his father did post a long 43-minute video, and I'll just post it. I'll just post the whole 43-minute video, and I'll put the link below of him showing that he was there for Dejounte Murray. I have to just believe his dad, because I'm the type of person that believe you if you're honest about yourself. I have to believe you, because when you air out dirty laundry about somebody else, you got to mention what you did. And his father started off the video basically right off the bat. I was on drugs. I was in and out in his life. That much is true. But when Dejounte Murray sees him and says, hey, you're clout chasing because you're posting things about me, that's not necessarily true. And even if it is true, you're a Spur. You're a professional athlete. And you're under Popovich and R.C. Buford in this culture. You have to grow up. You cannot do things like that. His dad even went on to say that, he said that he was texting Dejounte Murray, and Dejounte Murray called him a deadbeat, said that I'm not giving you anything. But at some point he asked his dad, hey, what do you want? Do you want a truck? His dad said, yeah, give me a truck. That's cool. You want a 2017 truck? No, 2014 to do fine. And could you give me, if you could give me $500 and I could, pay this bill real quick, or, something like that. Dejounte Murray went on, and I believe that his father, now this was all on Periscope, and I'm paraphrasing, but I believe that his father stated that Dejounte Murray went on to give his grandmother, not on his side, but his other family side, his grandmother a Rolex. His grandmother took that Rolex, I believe it was a Rolex now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, and sold it to a pawn shop or something like that to get money off of it. But that's besides the point. The thing is, Dejounte Murray went to his dad and basically told him, that's why I didn't give you a truck. That's why I didn't do this for you. This is why I didn't do this for you. You're deadbeat. That's what he said to him. And look, that's family business. And I'm not the type to just want to sit here and just talk about family business, because I don't know. But I do know the information that was given to me, which I shouldn't even know about this. You guys shouldn't know about this. But when Dejounte Murray does this and puts this information out and says, hey, that's my dad, he's clout chasing, basically saying attack him. When you do things like that, often it comes back on you, because when you're constantly pointing the picture and saying she's a gold digger, you're a clout chaser, when you do things like that, it comes back on you. And eventually, because you're not talking about yourself, you're not being honest about the type of person you are. And this is beyond, screw Dejounte Murray for a second. Like I told you guys, I'm not high on Dejounte Murray. I'm just not. Even, while his dad was talking, Jilly was even in the live stream, looking at it. She's not high on Dejounte Murray. His father obviously is like, my son is a jerk. he's a butthole. He said all that. He said little different words, but yes, he said his son is selfish. But screw Dejounte Murray for a second. If I'm just talking about other people, if I'm just talking about you guys watching this video, if it's 2 of you, if it's 20 of you, if it's 100 of you that see this video, I'm telling you right now, don't do something like this. Keep one thing that you have to always do is keep your relationships and your family secret from the outside world. Because what Dejounte Murray just did by airing out this dirty laundry with his girl and now his dad, not only is he showing that he's immature, he just threw people that in his heart of hearts, he's probably hurting himself. He just put them under the bus and damaging future relationships with them. And these are people that he probably actually care about. And all these other people are in Dejounte Murray's ear on his Instagram, his Twitter, whatever, and saying, Dejounte Murray, you're the man. Dejounte Murray, you're awesome. Dejounte Murray, I love you. These people ain't going to do nothing for him. So you people out there, and you got family members that you care about, if you ever get some type of buzz about yourself, if you ever get any kind of followers, anybody, just realize that it's fake love. Dejounte Murray is an NBA star. All I have, I ain't got none of that. All I have is an Instagram page with 40,000 followers. I'm telling you, even I receive fake praise all the time. I got so many messages, hundreds and hundreds of messages of people messaging me saying how great I am, how great my videos are, all the time. But you have to realize it's fake love. And Dejounte Murray, when his dad went on and said, you rolling with the devil. I don't think his dad meant that literally. I think what he meant is you're rolling with people that don't care about you. You're rolling with people that are just yes men. And when you roll with people that are yes men, you might as well be running with the devil, because it's very sneaky what can happen to you when you do that. And you guys, like I said, screw Dejounte Murray. I never been high on him, but screw that for a second. Don't ever get too high or too low when somebody tells you something. When somebody say you're ugly, don't get too low. Just stay neutral. Like, all right, I'm ugly. Whatever. I don't care what you think. When somebody says, you look beautiful today, take it with a grain of salt, because you don't know what their true intentions are. Dejounte Murray is going down a spiral that is not good. When you start talking about your father, when you start talking about your parents and putting it out there like that, you are going into a bad place. It's one thing to do it with your girl, because what he did with his girl was some high school stuff. I know some of y'all had a girlfriend in high school and she was the best thing ever. She was the most beautiful woman in the world. As soon as she do you wrong, or as soon as y'all break up, now she's this, now she's that. She's every name in the book. When it comes to his dad, you can't do that. You cannot do that with your parents. You have to be extremely careful. I know this is a long video and many of you guys probably tuned out by now, but I'm just being honest with my emotions on this and how I feel about it. And this whole situation is just messy. And this is part of the reason, and I keep saying this, but this is part of the reason I'm not a Murray fan. I haven't been a Murray fan. I want to be one. And I like the way he plays at some points, but this type of stuff is not acceptable, especially for a San Antonio Spur. You do not do this. You do not. And I really, really, really hope Dejounte Murray grows up, because we don't need our starting point guard doing this type of stuff. And I know some people might say, well, that's off the court. Off the court always bleeds into on the court. Things that you do off the court can bleed into on the court. Sorry, the video went out, but yeah, off the court always bleeds into on the court, no matter what you do. No matter what occupation you're doing, usually it bleeds into it. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful of the way you move. You got to be careful how you treat people. You got to be careful of what you say on social media. And I hope he grows up. I hope it gets better, but it's not looking good, y'all. It's not looking good for Dejounte Murray. But good news is our San Antonio Spurs is killing it. And yes, we just lost to the Houston Rockets, but we're going to get back on it. But yeah, I hope everything cleans up with Dejounte Murray. I hope he learns from it and grows up from it, because I don't want my starting point guard having this type of behavior. But yeah, that's all I got. And as I said, I'm going to leave a link below of what his dad said about all the receipts he has, and had all the footage of him and Dejounte Murray. I'm going to leave that down below. But yeah, if you guys could, please give me a like, subscribe, and turn your notification bell on. And I love all the real or fake love that you guys give. And I will get with you later, Spurs Knights. Deuces.